Imagine cruising down the boulevard in the mid-90s. The sun is setting, the roof is down, and the car you're driving isn't just a convertible, it's a statement. Not flashy, not loud, just pure elegance carved in steel and leather. That was the Mercedes W124 Cabriolet. A car so timeless, many still call it the most graceful Mercedes drop top ever built. But don't be fooled by its clean lines and quiet demeanor. Behind that soft top is one of the most over-engineered Mercedes platforms in history. A machine born from a company that built cars to outlast generations. To understand the Cabriolet, you need to know the W124 story. Launched in 1984, the W124 was the backbone of Mercedes, the mid-size E-Class before it was officially called the E-Class. It was built during an era when Mercedes engineers were given one simple instruction: make it the best, no matter the cost. The result? Bank vault doors, perfect shut lines, suspensions designed to soak up Autobahn miles at triple-digit speeds, and engines that seemed unkillable, from silky inline sixes to thunderous V8s in AMG-tuned variants. The W124 sedan became a legend, but the Cabriolet? That was something else. The W124 Cabriolet was introduced in 1991 and stayed in production until 1997. Over those 6 years, Mercedes built just over 33,000 units. That's rare by Mercedes standards, especially compared to the hundreds of thousands of sedans and wagons.
This rarity wasn't by accident. Engineering a convertible out of the W124 wasn't easy. Cutting the roof off a sedan usually ruins stiffness, introduces rattles, and kills handling. But Mercedes refused to compromise. They reinforced the chassis with thicker sills, strengthened the A-pillars, and added over 1,000 extra components to make sure the Cabriolet was just as solid as its hardtop siblings. The result? A convertible that didn't shake, didn't squeak, and didn't feel like a compromise. This wasn't just a sedan with no roof. It was its own carefully crafted masterpiece. Look at the W124 Cabriolet today, and it still oozes understated elegance. No oversized grills, no fake vents, no gimmicks. Just clean, balanced proportions. With the roof down, it had that perfect long hood, short deck silhouette. With the roof up, it looked almost like a sleek coupe, thanks to Mercedes' insistence on a well-fitted, multi-layer soft top. The frameless windows dropped down into the doors, leaving a completely pillarless look, one of the most beautiful profiles Mercedes has ever produced. And inside, it was classic 90s Benz luxury. Thick leather, real wood trim, heavy switchgear that clicked like it was carved from granite. A cabin that wasn't about flash, it was about substance. The W124 Cabriolet wasn't about outright speed, but it still had serious engines. The E220 and E320 models gave smooth, reliable power for daily cruising. The star of the lineup was the E36 AMG Cabriolet, with a 3.6-liter straight six pushing 268 horsepower. It was fast for its day and rare enough to make collectors drool today. In the US, the big seller was the E320 Cabriolet, running the M104 inline six with around 217 horsepower and buttery smooth delivery. Performance numbers weren't supercar territory, 0 to 60 in about 7.5 seconds for the E320, but that wasn't the point. The Cabriolet was about effortless cruising at 120 miles per hour on the Autobahn with the roof down, wind in your hair, and a rock-solid chassis underneath you. Here's the beauty of the W124 Cabriolet. It combined Mercedes' tank-like engineering with open-air freedom. Most convertibles of the time felt flimsy, squeaked over bumps, and shook when pushed hard. The W124 Cabrio? It felt like a solid slab of German precision, even with the top down. That extra reinforcement added weight, nearly 200 kilos more than the coupe. But owners didn't care. What they got in return was unmatched refinement. Doors that closed with the same vault-like thud. A body that didn't twist in corners. And safety features like rollover protection bars that popped up in milliseconds. A first for Mercedes. The W124 Cabriolet wasn't just admired in Germany. It became a global status symbol. Hollywood stars, European aristocrats, and successful entrepreneurs loved it because it didn't scream for attention. It whispered confidence. In the US, the Cabriolet became a rare sight on the streets of Beverly Hills and Miami. In Europe, it was the ultimate summer cruiser. And in Japan, where limited numbers were imported, it quickly became a prized piece of Mercedes engineering. While most W124 Cabriolets were enjoyed stock, some tuners couldn't resist. Companies like Brabus and AMG offered upgrades, from subtle body kits and wheels to full engine swaps. A Brabus-tuned W124 Cabrio with wide arches and big wheels looks like the ultimate sleeper boulevard cruiser. Today, the Cabriolet's value is climbing. Collectors have realized just how rare these cars are, especially clean, low-mileage examples. The E36 AMG Cabriolet is especially hot. With fewer than 1,000 built, it's one of the rarest AMG models of the era. Why does the W124 Cabriolet still stand out nearly 3 decades later? Because it represents an era when Mercedes built cars to a standard, not a budget. It was a convertible with no compromises, solid, elegant, and timeless. The W124 Cabriolet wasn't the fastest, wasn't the loudest, and wasn't the rarest Mercedes ever built. But it might just be the most elegant. A car that perfectly blended strength and sophistication, turning every drive into an event without ever trying too hard. So here's the question. Was the W124 Cabriolet the last truly timeless Mercedes convertible, or just the beginning of a golden era we'll never see again?